Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Okay, David Thetford's great at a lot of things, and one of the things he's great at is live spots. Mine might not be as good as his, but if you'll listen, mine are from the heart. And the first one is All-American Eatery, and I wish Gus hadn't gone out to get his computer because he had one of their breakfast burritos this morning, and it's just a wonderful place. It's family-owned and operated, Abel and Jennifer Rocha, and this coming week on Tuesday, they will start All-American Sweets. So if you've been thinking, we don't really have a good place to go buy pies and cakes and things like that, All-American Sweets is starting Tuesday, and really looking forward to that. And then, in fact, I had dinner with Bunny and Daryl Bednars last night, and it just reminded me what great people they are and what a great job they do in the insurance industry and all types of insurances.
Lubbock's Sports Station with Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby on Double T 97.3.
Okay, I'll finish up on the Bednars and Associates insurance. They're out on 120th and Quaker, and they have all kinds of insurance, but they're really, really good with ag insurance. And actually, they're very good with every kind of insurance. And if you'll notice this thing, there's a little theme here. These are in alphabetical order, because I just find that easier to do. And so Cardinals is next because it's a C, but they're quarter four now. So I'll just go ahead and do quarter four now with Brad Wyatt and all the bunch. This shirt I'm wearing right here, monogrammed and all there with our TNA logo on it, that's Cardinal Sports Center. Just draw these caps, these TNA caps right here, Cardinal Sports Center. This little T-shirt here, quarter four. And I designed this cap, and you just take it in there and show them what you want, and sure enough, there it is on a cap. So go see our friends at quarter four, Brad White and the bunch at South Loop 289 and Slide Road. You can't miss it. Big old building out there. Okay. We need to get Tim on the phone here in a second, and in the meantime, I had a text from one of our buddies, Jimmy Henderson, wanted to know. And we'll talk more about this later in the show about ESPN sort of firing people so that they can pay people that you probably don't even like to listen to more money. So, and y'all may say that about this show too, but we'll talk about Carl Ravitch and some of the other things.
Another round of layoffs, yeah.
Gus keeps up with this kind of stuff.
Well, I hated that for him. He's been there since '93, and he's been, in some ways, the face of their baseball coverage for a long time. Well, they're also pulling back on some of the baseball coverage, and so just over time here. And so I really kind of thought this might happen a couple years ago. Was glad it didn't, and now we're losing him. But I'm sure he'll land on one of the other in another good baseball scenario. But he was one of those guys that also did College World Series stuff. So we'd hear him in Omaha and then doing the Phillies game or whatever. But yeah.
Well, you hate somebody that does a good job and gives you all that effort, and then
right.
I'm sure it's dollars and cents.
Tough business.
That are all.
Hopefully he'll land somewhere else at Fox or somewhere and still be someone we can enjoy and appreciate.
Yeah. Well, I think he'll wind up somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, for the first time in quite a while, we've got the head baseball coach at Texas Tech University on the show. Tim, how are you doing?
Good morning. You guys doing all right?
So far, so good. We want to have you on because there's lots of good news surrounding Texas Tech baseball lately, and we wanted to visit with you about it and make sure, because everything we hear nowadays isn't necessarily the truth. So we want to hear the truth.
Well, we can try to get it to you.
Well, we talked about Ray Hayward a second ago. We'd always have Ray on the show because he really seemed like he enjoyed it, and we always thought that you would probably prefer to pass on being on, but so we tagged Ray in most of the time. But Ray is no longer around. Where is Ray?
I would say Ray's still in Lubbock. He retired. He's probably in Enid quite a bit, as you guys know. And I think his mom passed away last winter. And he spent a lot of time up there with his dad.
Well, I knew he was helping his dad out and all.
I remember that too.
Anyway, well, Ray's one of the all-time greats out there. Anyway, it looks like, Tim, to me, that the recruiting class right now is as good as it's been in years. And I'm sort of thinking part of it has to do with Kirby and the bunch, because I'd always hear, well, Tim's fighting with a short stick out there. And I go, yeah, he really is, because a lot of these SEC schools and all have, trunk full of money, and we're not necessarily. But these scholarships that you're getting this year, is it 35 or 36?
It's 34.
Okay.
34.
Okay.
It's a lot more than we had, and it is making a big difference. The support we've gotten from Kirby and the Board of Regents and just administration, Dr. Schovanec's been really made a big difference. It's allowed us to really to be as aggressive as we want to be in the portal. As you know, as both you guys know, and Gary, you definitely know, 11.7, it's a pretty decent puzzle to try to solve. and so, yeah, it's been a lot of fun putting it together.
Well, and not having to give one kid a quarter and another kid a half. You got 34 kids on full scholarships, right?
We like to call them QB1 scholarships. Yeah, hadn't offered one of those in 30-something years of doing this. And, it's allowed us to do that and pay the room and board and really take care of them.
All right, that is great, but they can get a full ride at a lot of places and money. Are we able to toss in some and money to some of these, like the junior college pitcher that we got coming in that was going to be a second or third round draft choice, and he turned down the draft? I've got to feel like there's some money involved in that and not just a full ride.
We've had a lot of people step up and and help us this summer. And so, been a lot of really good support, and we've raised some money, trying to raise some money to try to put this thing together.
Tim, this time of year, you're normally out watching summer tournaments and seeing a lot of 10th and 11th graders, and the next group you're going to recruit and try to get here. But this summer, a little bit different when you're working the portal the way you are. It sounds like you haven't been out as much, but you're probably working your tail off here. Is that a fair assessment of it?
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of stuff. Really just getting going on over the last probably 10 days, kind of getting going on the 28 class as far as just putting that list together and start calling those kids here at the end of the month. And 27 class is kind of wrapping that stuff up. But you're absolutely right. When you can add a guy that's played a couple years of college baseball in this short window between June and now, and you have the resources to do it, you're going to focus your attention on that, because there's a lot of good players available for sure.
Well, and it seems like nowadays there's so much information out there on kids that you can actually sit at home and watch on your TV, plug in and just see a kid playing in, across the country and all. But so it seemed like me, like seeing the kids is not the deal. It's just communicating with them. And who's our main recruiter out there?
Oh, I would say we've all hit it pretty hard.
Okay.
J-Bob obviously the guy tries to stay ahead of it as far as with the young kids. And Coach Foster's doing a really good job. Eric Gutierrez is been outstanding over the last couple of years. He's really just, he's brought a lot of really good players in and had a big impact. And Nolan Hester, I tell you, Nolan's is good with the portal. I think it's because these younger guys are on that computer a lot, I guess, growing up, right?
No, they are.
What you just said, I mean, gathering information. We get a name. You look at it, you get a name, and kind of what you said, you put the data with the name, and you make some phone calls. And Nolan can usually have the guy's contact info within about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm telling you, it's pretty incredible. And I tell you, it's nice to see him rewarded a little bit this summer. I mean, we've gone really hard at it the last couple summers and hadn't really been rewarded a whole lot from a standpoint of getting guys for the amount of time you spend. And, I think they're glad to see us get some of them.
Well, without a doubt.
I say they, I'm saying our staff.
Right, sure. Right. And earlier when you're talking about your staff, you talked about Eric Gutierrez, and he just got voted into the Texas Tech Hall of Fame, well-deserved Hall of Fame. That's one of the more unique stories, really, in college baseball, how he came here and how he has stayed here and all. But he's been an integral part of things, hasn't he?
He has. He's really evolved into really good hitting coach. But you'll appreciate this. He's really good with those guys around the bag over at first base. It comes really natural to him to teach guys what he did. And I mean, the Hall of Fame deal is well deserved. I mean, just not many guys that play that many games in their career and have the impact he had. And we tell people all the time, recruits that come in, I mean, he lived in the dorm for 2 years. He's one of 2 guys that ever did that that's played for us. And really, he did that so he could be in the bat cage as much as he wanted to be there. And really, from the first day he ever stepped foot on our campus, did what good baseball players do. I mean, he led from the first day he ever got there. And was always comfortable doing that, and had a big impact on those first couple of teams that went to Omaha. I mean, those guys that made that commitment in 15 to come back, really a lot to be said for that.
Oh, well, we're about to play a clip after we finish with you, but it's Logan Hughes in the Astros radio booth the other night, the night he signed, and in that clip, Logan talks about working with Goot. He names Goot specifically, and what a good job he did. And you must be proud to see him. Of course, all those guys getting a shot to live their dream. But Logan Hughes, the first-round pick of the Texas team, that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to watch him playing the outfield or first base for them, and teeing it up against all those other teams. Around obviously the Rangers and the White Sox and all those teams that got guys on them, and the Rockies and the Twins, just a bunch of them.
Yep.
And the Astros got a good one. That guy that drafted, the area guy that took Logan, when he first moved to Texas, I was coaching in Hillsboro. He slept on my couch for about a semester. Kelly and I were living in a duplex in Hillsboro, Texas. He used to follow me. He'd go, "Hey, man, can I just follow you after practice and go to games?" And he didn't know his way around. That's kind of prior to GPS, right? And, practice would be over. We'd run around Dallas-Fort Worth and try to find some players. So really, really glad for all of them.
That's awesome. That's a good story there.
That is a good story.
How are you? Yeah, that's great. That's good stuff there. Hey, I've thought about 2 things that One thing I hadn't asked you, you're obviously lifelong buddies with Skip Johnson. Well, he had a pretty big June with the Sooners winning the national championship. That must have been fun on a certain level to see something good happen to a friend like that.
Yeah, I tell you, I think Game 3, we had a neighbor want Kelly to come over and play some games. I don't know exactly what. And Kelly's like, hey, I'm watching this game. Of course, because Kelly and Kathy are really close. And, really cool to watch that team come together. Just the belief they had that they could win games. That, I think more, again, like there's a lot of things that I know that people probably don't know, but I was just as proud as Skip for, the Cameron Johnson kid that didn't pitch any in postseason. He stuck with that kid, tried to pitch him every Friday pretty much the whole spring. Developed the kid as much as he could. And, but really postseason started. He started running those freshmen out there. Those kids stepped up.
Well, and that was a phenomenal story, the fact that they didn't look like, any chance of winning the College World Series.
Right.
Going you'd think would please them to no end, and then all of a sudden they just kept getting hot. It just shows you if you can get there, and not necessarily the World Series, the playoffs. Just getting the playoffs, good things can start happening.
You never know.
Yeah, I tell you, so when we played them in the fall, last fall in Norman, I think we played them in Norman. You'd have thought that day they had a chance to win it. They ran out arm after arm, and actually the Rager kid that's from Maypearl, it's first place my wife had she taught home ec in Maypearl, Texas. I'm going to say it was 94. Anyway, long story short, the Rager kid that, pitched awful good for him, I think he was like the 12th guy they ran out there that day. He was like 95, 96. I'm like, wow, man. Pretty good pitching staff. And they scored a bunch of runs that day against us.
Well, speaking of
story, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, speaking of pretty good pitching staffs, it looks like we're going to have one this year, and that's going to be a lot more fun out there at the ballpark.
We should. I think we hit it right on a few guys, and got a bunch of guys coming in with some skins on the wall. It's golf good for sure. Sounds like you're about to go to break.
Yeah, you want to? You want to come back, or you good?
Yeah, that's fine. If you guys need me to, that's fine. That'd be good.
Okay, hang on just a minute.
All right, we'll just call you back.
All right,
we'll call you back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Okay, Fuddruckers. Gus, you said you had a Fuddrucker opinion.
Always have good experiences there. Ate lunch with some friends over there 2 Wednesdays ago. Got to sit next to the man himself, Mickey Rogers.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, if you don't get the hamburger the way you like it, it's your fault, because you can put anything in the world on that hamburger. And then we know about the catering operation that they run. You and me enjoyed that last weekend at the banquet.
Yeah, and anytime you go up there and Fuddruckers is catering, you're going to have a good meal. And you don't necessarily know it's going to be a burger. It could be almost anything, because they do anything well. They're at 66th in Milwaukee. They are just south of McGavick Nissan. So you can go look at cars and go eat lunch at the same time.
We now return to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby on Double T 97.3.
I went by Golf USA this week, and I got me a brand new Golf USA hat. So if you're wondering what my cap says on it today, it says Golf USA. I just love the people over there, Chet and Mike, Stacy, the whole group, just very professional at what they do. And anything you need that is to do with golf, you can get at Golf USA, and they're at 67th in Indiana. So go visit our friends at Golf USA. All right, have we got Tim back? Hey, Tim.
Yeah, guys.
It sounds like you're driving. Are you driving?
I am.
Okay, so we don't really feel like we're cutting into your family time, or you're not on the golf course, or so we don't
Golf sounds good.
Well, that's because you're good at it.
That would be fun. That'd be real good. I'm not any good at it anymore. There was a time I might have felt like I was good.
Well, when was the last time you played?
I hadn't played a lot. You know, my son and I, we went out and chipped and putted some and maybe played 9 holes back in maybe June one evening.
Okay.
That's probably the last time the clubs came out.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've been doing something more productive than golfing, and we were talking about that before the break, about your pitching staff that it appears they're coming in. I don't guess you ever know till they show up on campus. But do you mind talking about that bunch just a little bit?
Yeah, it should be fun. We don't have to worry like we used to. I mean, you don't have the draft deadline of the first day of school where we had to walk them to class back in the day. I mean, that draft deadline's at the end of the month, or I think it's actually Monday. And so we don't have too many worries there. You know, we've got a number of left-handed pitchers we're really excited about. You know, on the freshman side, got a kid by the name of Landon Collins out of Friendswood. Was MVP of the Connie Mack World Series last year.
Oh, wow.
I think he might have been the MVP of the Dillon Jupiter also in the fall. I'd have to go back and check that, but he's already on campus. Can really pitch. Has always been able to pitch. So we got a kid out of Wichita Falls by the name of Carter Hoffman. It's a freshman. Really excited about him. I believe he's from the same high school as our linebacker that signed really high.
Oh, J-Rod, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so. And I believe I saw that somewhere. And, you know, then the junior college guys that we brought in, got a kid that a lot of people had as their number one left-hander going into the spring. In the region for sure, and maybe across the country. His name's Carson Bailey. Was at Baylor 2 years ago. Was at McLennan this past year. He's got a chance to really help us. He blew his ACL out in the spring, and so he's starting to pick the ball up here in August, and should be in a really good spot to pitch for us by spring. A kid out of Santa Rosa Junior College by the name of Lucas Hermes, kind of a different angle. All these guys are left-handed. And so those guys really excited about them. This summer, picked up a kid that pitched for Dusty at Glen. His name's Ben Schultz. Threw the ball really good for Dusty the last 2 years. 2 years ago, they played in the regional championship game to go to Grand Junction, and Ben punched out, I think, 17 and walked 1. And pretty good day, right? And he can pitch. I mean, he can really pitch. And so then, of course, you got Jackson Burns coming back. Had a kid come available this summer that also pitched for Dusty. His name's Hayden Morse. He started his college career out in Austin. Ended up going to Glen. He's 6'8", guys, probably, I don't know what his weight is. He's probably 265. Been up to 98. When he's right, he's got a chance to be as good as anybody in the country. And he went through a bunch of tough stuff this past year. I think he'll be in a really good spot for us. So We got a young man on campus that's out of Arizona. It's a junior college guy. His name's Danny Hesse. He's already on campus. Got a chance to be really good. So just going through the list, you kind of tell. And I'm probably leaving some guys out of there. We picked up a kid out of the portal this year out of SD, University of San Diego. You guys seen these guys that played shortstop their whole life that get on the mound? You know, got a good arm. He's one of those guys. Probably been up to, but he can pitch. He's pitching good in the Northwoods League. And then obviously you got Logan Addison there from in town to the ball. You know, Logan's throwing the ball good in the Northwoods League. And so we're excited about what we have. I think we've got a lot of options. And,
well, I'm just sitting here thinking, do you have too many options? My gosh.
I really, on the mound, I don't know. I think I don't think you can.
Well, last year we were trying to find 3 starters for the weekend, and this year sounds like we may have about 10 candidates that are capable of throwing on the weekend.
I tell you, I think you can look at, like I said, like Skip's bunch last year. You can kind of compare it. I mentioned walking out there at the end of the day and doing like that. And we've had years where it's been that way. And going into it, it looks that way right now. And it always does on paper a little bit, but there is with this group, there's more guys that have pitched at a high level, not just thrown, not guys that you're hoping come on. I think there's more guys that have pitched college innings and got a few more skins on the wall. And we're excited about what we got on paper, excited to get to work with them here.
Well, we almost always out at Tech have position players and hitters. We almost always have a bunch of hitters that can compete enough to win. But when we've had the good years, and we've had good years, it's when we have the pitching. And so it sounds like we're going to have the pitching to go with what I think will be good enough position players and good enough hitters, to not going to say go to Omaha, but to go to Omaha. I mean, that type of staff, and that's what it takes, period.
Yeah, I mean, we've had enough of not being the best team in the state of Texas and the best team in the region. I mean, we felt like we kind of established that for a long time, and really just ready to put our foot down and say, hey, that's what we're going to be. So we did load up. We did load up and tried to pretty much, get a bunch of arms and we're excited about what we've added out of the portal as far as position players. It's going to be pretty much a complete new lineup other than Jesse and Goitia, Chase Thomas. Those guys will be back, and the rest of them are guys that have played a lot of baseball.
All right.
So we're excited about it.
All right, we got a kid from UT, and I think he went somewhere in between UT and here, but it showed that he hit like 268 in Austin. I've always thought that you could add 25 or 30 percentage points on a guy playing out here in Lubbock in West Texas and it'll go to the ERAs too. We may look like a kid's not having a good year with a 3.5 or 4 ERA, but he's pitching out in a hitter's ballpark. So I've always said that if you're hitting 268 in Austin, that's probably the equivalent of 300 here. Am I completely off base?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you're talking about Ashton Larson. He started his career out in Baton Rouge, was there 2 years, played on a team that won it there, had 40-something starts as a freshman. He ran into some injuries his sophomore year and then played quite a bit in Austin this year on a bad quad. And he's a really good baseball player, really fortunate to have him. As far as what you're talking about, the batting average stuff that the really cool thing that's available now to all these major league teams is, you're right, you're hitting in altitude, but they can plug numbers in based on launch angle, exit velocity. They can tell you how far the ball will go in Yankee Stadium that you hit in Lubbock, Texas.
Wow.
And that's one of the things that's really helped Logan Hughes, Caden Ferraro, Quentin R., Jace Young. You can compare those things based on how they're impacting the baseball. And so you don't get dinged for hitting in Lubbock. You actually get rewarded. And Ashton's really excited about hitting in Lubbock. Believe me, when he was in town, he was like, man, I can almost feel how light the air is in here. And, of course, he's heard about, the numbers guys put up. And it is a hitter's ballpark, and I do think you can add some numbers there to a guy's average or possibly even home runs. I mean, it's I think we all know ball flies a little bit. So,
well, do you run into any problem with that with the pitchers? A guy would obviously want to come here to hit. Do you run into any issues with the pitchers saying, I don't know about that?
Oh, I would say that, baseball players can find a reason, right? If you're looking for a reason to not come, I guess you can find one. I would tell you, Gary, that, we've had guys come in where maybe their dad's pitched in AA or AAA or maybe even the big leagues, and they go, somebody will say something about it, and I go, you know what? Wind blows in those big league parks, too.
No.
They're really small. And, I think the unique thing about that is you play to win the game, and the numbers are the numbers. And the guys that have come to Lubbock that can pitch, that have played for anybody that's ever coached there, they can pitch. And I remember back, I always think of Davis because of Mike's relationship with Steve and Kelly and that deal. And the minute Davis Martin stepped on campus, you knew you had a real guy. And you knew he could pitch no matter where he was. And a lot to be said for that, right? Yep. If you can pitch, you can pitch, but I'm sure there's been a guy or two find a reason to not come. So that's okay, too. We've got guys before because they didn't want to pitch on a turf mound. And, you have guys can find reasons to not go pitch somewhere.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. I don't know where you're going. I hope it's to find maybe not necessarily another pitcher, but another great ball player.
After the younger one's down.
There you go.
Be safe on the road, Coach.
This has been a very uplifting conversation, Coach, and I think everybody's going to be visiting this week about the potential that this team has, and really looking forward to this season.
You bet. Appreciate you guys having us on, and appreciate everybody's support.
You bet, Tim. All right.
Okay.
Good luck.
Be careful out there.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay.
Great stuff there.
Yeah, boy, doesn't that get you a little bit excited for baseball?
It really does.
And what just crossed my mind is basketball is just now starting to hopefully round into some shape and get at least enough where we can scrimmage.
They had their frontline core of that basketball thing together, and then, like not getting the big man out of Europe and some of those things, like they still have 2 or 3 uniforms to fill, and may end up being okay. That's really a bigger topic for the 2 minutes we have right now. But I think that upbeat conversation, everything, and it, just the fact that he said, he can't get out all the time now and go see young guys because they're bringing in visits all the time, and they've had visitors in. I think if you really want to know what they're doing, you probably should go sit out the airport, I guess. Sounds like that's how it's going.
Well, and even to do that takes money. So it sounds like the money situation has perked up. Yep. Now, that'll bring us back to last week's conversation about changing the name of the stadium to Galaxy. Well, for $75 million, I'll change the name of my son to Skippy or Biff.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, actually, I'd do it for $7,500. It wouldn't take $75 million, but you got to have money, and it sounds like we got some money. And I'll tell you something funny. Cal and I, our recruiting budget, this was our recruiting budget was $2,500, and that included what it took you to go somewhere.
Your van ride.
And if you brought somebody in, what it took to bring them in.
That didn't go very far. Not even back in those days.
No, it wouldn't last. I don't think that'd last through breakfast. Out there
I think
anymore.
You're right.
So it's exciting times out there with baseball, and let me tell you what. Every now and then, maybe have a bad year so that people start appreciating the good years again.
Yeah,
Instead of taking them for granted, you can appreciate them. So I think we're going to have the opportunity to appreciate our baseball team this year. So we'll be right back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Okay, River Smiths, we talked about them earlier being with us for 17 years, and we certainly appreciate Chris Berry and the bunch over at 5th and Avenue Q. Let me tell you this about Chris Berry. He takes his job very seriously. He doesn't want to just put out a product. He wants to put out the best product. Yes. And if you do catering, I don't know how it gets any better than River Smith's. When I pull up to an event and the River Smith trucks are out there, I know I'm fixing to have me a good meal. So anyway, if you get the opportunity, either go have lunch there, dinner there, or if you need a caterer, that'd be the ones that I would suggest you use. And then Tide Dry Cleaners, that's Brant Stravlo. They've got 2 locations. One of them's on 19th and Quaker, and one of them's out on 4511 98th. And here's what I like about it. It can be 104 degrees. You just pull under the little cover. You don't have to get out of your car. They will fetch your stuff, bring it, put it in your car, and off you go. Tide Dry Cleaners.
Lubbock's Sports Station with Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby on Double T 97.3.
Okay, now where were we?
Southland.
Yeah, I was going to go out to Southland. We share a ranch. It's called what's it called? Sand Creek?
Sand Creek Ranch.
And we have a guy building a garage for us, and I was going to meet him out there.
Okay.
And so you go to Slayton, and then you pull off the road, and there's Southland. And we were going out there last fall on a Friday night, and I always wanted to go to a 6-man game, and they were playing. So we went to our house and got our side-by-side and drove back to Southland. And Southland was playing Cress. And Southland had 7 players. 1 got hurt.
6-man football.
And Cress should have been playing 11 men. So we called Barry Street to say, hey.
Oh, that's right, Barry.
And it was really neat. We had a Frito chili pie, and I told Patty, life doesn't get much better than this.
Or simpler. The simple
exactly
life.
Right.
That wasn't chili, but it was something.
It was good.
It stayed down.
But it was neat.
Well,
I know what you're thinking.
all right.
The ultimate compliment, right?
Okay, your mark. That used to be a very friendly, almost a term of endearment to Texas Tech. Well, we sort of got sideways a little. Or we asked Kirby this last week, and
what did he say?
You should be listening to the show.
He
Lawrence.
said, I assumed you knew what he said. No. He said we're fine. I said, are we gonna exchange Christmas cards? And he said he thought that we would. Yeah. He said, but things could change. So are you going to exchange Christmas cards with him?
Yeah, and he will send me a Junior's cheesecake from New York, and it's really good. I want to make sure that we're good enough friends. I get that cheesecake.
Don't mess that up.
Look, he is my friend, and we've talked about the difficulty. there was a very good article in ESPN about the scars of the Sorsby saga. Yeah. It's probably the best thing you could read if you kind of want to know what really happened. And we were having a meeting on Sunday, and it says in the article, Schovanec stepped out to take that call from the commissioner. And so he gets on the phone, how you doing, Lars? I go, well, what do you think? This is kind of a mess.
Yeah, this is a mess.
And he says, I'm calling as a friend. I go, okay, Brett, you're calling as a commissioner. Because I knew where this was going. And, I felt we very much disagreed with the attitude of the league in terms of, we've had disagreements before, but we broke no bylaws.
Right.
We didn't break them. And we never, so we had some hard feelings about that. But Brett recognizes just how important Tech is to the Big 12. And he's done us some favors that people don't always know about. Now, he's my friend, and I don't know if he will be coming to games this year. He hasn't said. But, in a family like this, you always have your ups and downs. You know what? When I was having lunch the other night, dinner with Joey, when the Miami Bowl committee came in, those two members, they were great guys. I said, Joey, I've never wanted to win more. And I mean, let's get even.
I had a friend of mine that was at coaching school this week. It was in Houston. We just talked about that. And he said, Coach McGuire walks down the hall, and it's just, of course, he's so popular anyway, and he's so friendly, and he's so likable and remembers everybody. He goes, you can just see, it must be Coach McGuire there, because he just can't walk from here to there and talk to you. And there's swarms of people. And then he was up on the dais with Sark and all those guys. I mean, all of his moves were, he's just, and of course he's so popular there because it's a bunch of high school coaches too. I mean, it was high school coaches.
Him and Kenny Perry both.
Yes, and so we were represented well once again by those guys.
Yeah. Well, what I said to him and Kirby the other night, I saw where it was either USA Today or ESPN. They ranked the top 25 coaches today. Did you see that?
Yeah, we talked about it on this show on our Clint and I talked. What a joke!
What a joke!
Yeah,
there it is.
What a
SMU's joke. On that list.
That was programmed. They had the top 25 programs in the NIL era, and there was SMU at 25, but no Texas Tech. And so I think right now we're feeling the brunt of some resentment towards Tech, and the best way to get revenge is be successful.
Keep winning, yeah.
And we will be.
The best way to get people to keep hating you is to be successful. So let's just keep being successful, and and they can just hate us all they want. So anyway, we should not hate your Mark then.
No.
Okay.
Here's my attitude in life. I love everybody.
Well, might as well. That's a good attitude.
And if you saw my email, you'd be surprised I say that.
Well, that's a goal of mine. I just have not achieved it as of yet.
Usually this message board screen right here is the one that'll keep me honest on that stuff. It's the same thing you're talking about. If I need to be taken down a notch, I can just read through this.
Are you getting some bad things?
No, not today, but just in general.
You have any?
Somebody telling us we're idiots or something.
We've had a few, but not since that he's joined the program.
They're listening.
Okay.
They're listening.
Dave and I, we really don't. In fact, we usually forget we even do texts, but it's not part of our show. We're more guest oriented, and a lot of the other weekday shows, of course, they're 15 hours. They incorporate the listeners via the text.
Maybe this is a stadium question, or if that's a conversation. But here's a text. Researching Clifford Jones and discovered he was married twice and not have any children. He passed away in 1972. That eased the pain of the stadium name change, mainly that I guess there's no descendants.
There's no family.
Maybe a statue of him at the stadium would honor his memory. I know Kirby talked about this last week, that there is some stadium recognition planned for it to keep his name.
There will be, and the issue of the statue has come up. Okay. It may not be that.
Right.
There was a discussion of naming a certain area in front of the stadium for him. And so
statues are, I don't know what all Clifford did, but I don't know that it was statuable. To me, statues are,
Gary, I think many people would agree with you. And once you start doing that, you open a can of worms.
A lot of statues.
And we have many deserving Red Raiders that would say, "What about me?"
Yeah.
And so, what you say it's not statuesque.
Not statues. I said statuable.
Well,
which is another new word you heard here.
We're going to do something, and it's a difficult sort of situation. The world today is very different than it was when even 10 years ago when there was no NIL and rev share. But you don't want people saying you're selling your soul, but we're not. But I certainly respect the difference of opinions. I do.
Well, and like I say, we're not just changing it to be changing it. We're changing it for $75 million in an environment where money is more important than probably ever before, or at least legal money on top of the table money. The money's always been important, but not necessarily here at Tech doing the shady stuff. So anyway.
Wow. Tech's president is an awesome guy. I appreciate all you have done.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That was probably my son.
These are all anonymous texters, so we don't know.
You know what?
Patty's sitting right here, and I didn't see her grab her phone. So
the Tech is you guys know it. I mean, many schools are struggling to keep enrollment up, and we're bursting at the seams.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, was it that football season? Well, it's way more than that. That you have to seal the deal. And when people come here and they on this campus, they get a feel for it, this community, there's something special. We know it.
Yep.
You guys know it.
And
So it's. I thank people like that because I'm lucky to be where I am.
Well, I've noticed all the coaches seem to put a real emphasis. In the old days, they didn't much care what, as a player, that it wasn't all that important what you felt and all that. You just get out there and do the job and all that. But we've got coaches that are just building a family out there, and I think it translates into better athletic accomplishments.
So, they had an event in Vegas this week. Joey always has like a little retreat for the coaches. All the coaches do it. Like Tyler's happening this week at FAU. But then they invite a bunch of people. It started out with a handful. I think he said there were 20. But it kind of extends that family of people who get to hang around with the coaches and know what they're doing. And you could take a very successful businessman or a person, and when they get around coaches, they get kind of giddy sometimes. Well, they love being part of that.
Sure.
And I'm not saying it in a critical way.
No, that's just the way it is. Speaking of that, we're going to have the basketball fantasy camp, I think, next week, or real soon. I was talking to somebody that's going to it. And
Tech men's basketball? Okay, all right.
And let me tell you what, it sounds like a really fun deal. I just can't keep up with some of them.
No.
They're go-getters.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Are you going to be at that?
No, I was not good.
He can't keep up with them either.
No. Nor should you.
Probably a younger crowd, I would imagine. But
No, there's some old.
Yeah, there's some old.
Is that right? Okay. All right.
It's a festive bunch.
So you're saying there's going to be a lot of action on the court, and then some later on at night somewhere else, like that?
Yeah,
is that what you mean by
some of them may skip
festive,
the on the court,
or may not make the on the court the next morning,
might
kind of a deal?
Sleep in during the on the court.
Okay, I got it.
They've come by the house once or twice.
We've gone by their events.
Yeah. They have a good time.
That's great.
Well, that's a good group of supporters too.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And you got to have them.
I saw where the basketball season tickets are sold out.
Yeah.
And that's something, especially since we only have like 4 players.
So far.
Okay.
You know where I think this is going to come in handy for us is most everybody's filling up or full, and there's some of these fifth-year guys that they're going to let them play. I mean, they're not going to say, well, no, this bunch of seniors is because if it's a great rule and if it's best for the game and it's best for the students, which is why they're changing it, why would you alienate the fifth-year guys this year.
Right.
Just
This
let
year.
them play and move on. Yeah, this year, let them
year.
play and move on.
And it will be changed in the future. You know, Coach McCaslin keeps kind of a low profile during the summer. You don't hear a whole lot about what's going on.
So I said that on our show yesterday afternoon. I said I'll be interested in hearing the postmortem of him putting the team together, because just what we're talking about, it's July 24th, and he's got 3 open spots now. You know, Momo Faye, whatever, one of the European players, was supposedly coming in. Now he's not. Darian Williams is here practicing, and there's a lot going on here. We got about, well, you would know the first day of school. We got about a month left, right? It's getting late.
What is the first day of school?
He never knows the first day of school.
So
You tell he's not teaching a class anymore, is he?
we're going to spend some time with Regent Womble and Coach McCaslin and Kirby in a couple of weeks.
Good.
And he was saying we're going to go up there, but he said, Patty, would you find out for Lawrence what day school starts?
He committed to us last summer to going on this trip, and I said, Lawrence, do you realize that's 2 days into the start of the semester? So we had to back out.
One day is just like the other for me.
It's bad optics for the president to not be there on the first day of school, right?
All right, back to that basketball deal. Jamichael Stillwell is supposedly,
UCF.
if they grant him that fifth year, is coming to Tech.
Right.
But he's a guy, and I'm always a little leery of a guy, that this will be his fifth year, and this will be his fifth school.
Yep.
I mean, I guess
He played well against us last year when they beat us. So that
Central Florida. When you get ice cream, do you get the same flavor? You always, when you go get ice cream, you have to get a different flavor each time.
Like join the Army and see the world. Join NCAA basketball.
Absolutely.
See the world.
Right.
College is the best time of your life. College could be better.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in a junior college or two.
Make a lot of friends. Without it, but I always think that's peculiar.
Oh, I know.
You know, you can see changing a school might be overplaying time or just don't hee-haw together.
Yeah.
But 5? You know.
So the question is, who's going to be in our Hall of Fame and Ring of Honor in the future?
Yes. Well, I that's a legitimate question that I've talked about with Rodney. Of course, I kind of helped with that stuff before Rodney was doing it. But the whole idea that it's hard to you really only think about those players who finish their eligibility here. You might have some junior college transfers and whatnot, but it would be hard to honor. I don't mean to pull names out of there, but someone like McCullough who played here and was good and then left. It would be a lot harder to honor him than someone who did a couple years somewhere else.
I think it'd be real easy to not honor him.
Sure.
I mean, somebody that played here and then just turned their back and to go to a
rival
school, it makes it even worse. But I think it'd be real easy to just say, no, you basically forfeited that opportunity. Maybe Kansas will put you in their Hall of Fame.
Well, and so I think the comment about you're saying is that it may just sort of organically happen that the ones who don't finish here have a harder time getting in here.
Well, I think you need to go back at our history. Pick up a few people that haven't been appropriately recognized.
That's fine, too.
Like this guy right over here.
Oh, I'm fine.
He's in the Hall of Fame. He is in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he is.
I'm good.
No, but not statuable.
You don't have your name in the stadium or anything.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He's not statuable,
I talked
Coach.
to Kirby, and Kirby didn't say no to this. I said, those men's bathrooms do not have a plaque over it. So Gary Ashby's men's room has a ring to it. What do you think?
Well, there is a restroom.
Better than Gary Ashby's ladies' room.
Didn't Dickie Grigg, doesn't he have a restroom over at the market?
No, at the law school.
Oh, is that right? Okay, all right. I'm wrong building.
That's another story, but we can't tell that story.
well.
He was on the board of the Red Raider Club, and they had pictures of the board members on the wall, and his picture is up there, and it was Tom Selleck's picture.
That's why the story can't be told on the air. Probably there's Dickie Grigg had no boundaries.
No, he's a good one though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Tom's Tree Place, been around since any of us have been around, over 70 years out there at 34th and Slide at the same exact place. I like to drive by on the Marcia Sharp and just look over at the trees and all they have going on over there. But it's a great place. Hey, and some of y'all are finishing up on the roofs from their hailstorm back about a year ago. Our friends at RoofWise is the folks that I suggest you use. They did 2 roofs for me, did a wonderful job. Actually, they did 3 roofs for me. Goodness. And they did a wonderful job on all 3 of them. And here's the key. They help you find the money from the insurance company, because the insurance companies, they don't necessarily want to give you every single dollar you're due. You would think they would want to do that as good people, but they're in the business of making money. But they will help you, RoofWise, get every penny that you're due for your roof.
We now return to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby on Double T 97.3.
All right, David's baby boy, Tanner, has Mission Service Companies, and they're ready to help you with weed control and all your oil and gas properties. You folks that are listening down there in Midland, Odessa, we don't have a lot of that up here in Lubbock, but they can help you. Well, he said they had a few people that just say, get these weeds out of my alley where they won't grow back, and that bunch will do it, Mission Services. Anyway, if you want to get hold of that bunch, call 806-632-6325. Hey, that's easy. 632-6325. All right. And you can ask for the Thetford and Ashby discount, and there actually is one. You know, you can always ask for it anywhere you go, but there's only one place that will know what you're talking about. So
a little break because they appreciate knowing how'd you hear about us? Well, you're at on Thetford and Ashby. And so it helps.
And
it helps your renewal rate, right?
I will say this, that if you do like the show and you appreciate the advertisers that sponsor the show, hey, tell them we appreciate y'all helping us. If you don't like the show, just don't listen or watch. Either one.
And all the podcasts are available on Double T.
Yeah,
Double T Sports
We
Network.
never say that, but if you like the show and maybe you have something you got to do this morning, you can watch the show.
I
can't tell you how, but you can do it.
I have some Red Raider baseball loving friends that are interested in the Tim Tadlock interview.
Yeah.
There's others that just texted in, said they're enjoying your segment here, but they're listening live. But anyway. B, tell us where you go to listen to this show if you want to replay it.
DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, and you can find the archive show and the podcast. So podcasts will feature the highlights from the show, and today that'll be Tim Tadlock and President Schovanec and Patty.
There you go. All right, say that one more time a little slower.
Double T.
I talk fast. DoubleTSportsNetwork.com.
Okay, now see if you can do it slower.
DoubleTSportsNetwork.com.
And click on the podcast or the replay podcast.
You'll see at the top of the website on demand or podcast.
There it is. Boom. Right there. Then it'll take you to Thetford and Ashby, and there you go.
All right. When you came into the show today, and we always appreciate y'all coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Did y'all go, gosh, I hope they don't ask us about this? What was that you didn't want us to ask you?
Well,
don't answer this question.
So,
don't answer this question truthfully.
Here's what I thought people were going to say. That Sorsby thing was complicated.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I say we move on.
Sure.
And what I think what bothered me is some people never really believed that it was about, we take care of our kids.
Yeah.
And they were rolling their eyes and go, yeah. We never said in fact he was going to play. It was always conditional on his health and all. And but then a lot of people, like Patty, she said I should wear a hat more often because they did some kind of cartoon where I was dressed like a clown wearing a hat. She goes, you look good in the hat. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I left my phone in the car so that I couldn't show them.
So they dressed all of us at that round table up like clowns.
The one Gio sort of MC y'all.
Yeah, what a great idea that was.
And then one day I was leaving for school, and Patty said, I think you lost your gambling apparatus. You left your gambling apparatus on the kitchen counter.
your phone.
So I just didn't want to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. I will say this: if I had hair like yours, I would not wear a cap. I would flaunt it.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm an old guy, Gary. It's just I have a lot of faults, but God did me a favor on the hair deal.
Well, I'm not going to blame God on it. So I'll blame my granddad or my dad, but somebody screwed me around on the hair deal. But that's okay. It's all good.
Last night I was at an event, and Allison Hirth, who works in marketing and communication, always gets nervous when I come on this show.
That's a good sign.
She's afraid I'm going to say something to embarrass the university.
Well, does that not sound a little bit about what you thought about Patty coming on?
A lot of it. I got the list of things that I cannot say.
I thought she'd embarrass me because I'm an easy target.
Well, she does pick on you a bit.
Keeps me grounded.
Well, the amazing thing about your appearances, I'm on with them a lot, but I haven't been on with you guys on this. It's just conversation. Like that's what's so great about the show. It's usually conversational, and that's all you're doing is you're in here talking with friends. It just so happens that there's microphones all over the table.
Well, somebody was asking her, well, why does he do that? And I said, it is the most popular radio show in Lubbock. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I said.
Well, let's just go with that.
It has a very...
said, we're all over the world. You could have said all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's been about as believable.
I'm in here 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
And
I know. I hear your voice.
At the least.
It's the 3 to 6, some 3 to 6:30s. But when I'll sit in on this, I'll be over at Rudy's or something later on, and somebody will come up to me and go, "Hey, saw you on Thetford and Ashby." I'm going, what about the 3 to 6 every day from Monday through Friday? But that's okay. I just think like the following of this show is what's sort of amazing. I don't know if it's massive in numbers, but it's a core.
So I told her yesterday. She said, I wish those. She said those guys should check with me, not you, to see. That's what Alice. To see if I could. I tell you what, when I go down, I could be in Home Depot or Sutherland's, and people will come up to me and say they listen to this show.
Yes,
they like
amazing.
it.
I got to see if I've got Patty's phone number. Because I'll start clearing things with.
No, it's Allison that wants you to clear it, not me.
Yes, Allison, not Patty.
Oh, I thought you wanted.
I want him out of the house as much as possible.
No.
Well, we're always glad that you come along.
Well, thank you.
It's always good radio. It really is.
I think we're all ready. We're done with the talking. Let's go back to play.
So we probably would not even have brought up Sorsby, but I'm glad you did.
I did.
And just say, hey, it is what it is. It's done. We were trying to help the kid. The kid needed help. And where is he now? I was hoping he would stick around and we would help him with his, I guess he went through his program. And
I thought he went back to DFW to train. And
I think people still stay in touch with him.
Yeah.
He's impressive. He spoke to us one day when we were having one of those meetings. And he's an impressive young man.
That's what Coach McGuire says. Just that he's a great kid.
That's the thing about
rooting for him. Yeah.
What annoyed me about that ranking of the top coaches is somehow I think people don't give Coach McGuire his due because they think they're buying him a team. Everybody's doing it.
Bingo.
And he has to put those people together, and nobody does it better.
Mm-hmm. No, that's right. That's one of the jobs of the coach nowadays is you're getting kids from different schools, not high schools that are coming in, from different colleges, and they've all got different ways they've done things and different egos that you try to melt together. And so
your job is to love them up. And can you imagine people like Woody Hayes or Bobby Knight doing that?
I'm sure. That was a different generation too, like the Bear Bryants and the coaches that we were coached by. The touchy-feely side of it, that may not be the best way to say it, but that wasn't their strength. It was.
No, I think their strength was just the opposite.
Right, absolutely.
It was the whip instead of the hug.
Which would be tougher in this era.
So when you were coaching, Gary, were you a whipper or a hugger?
I never got hugged by him.
I see scars.
I want to hear what you have to say, Patty.
Well, here's the deal. When I came in, Cal had been the coach, and Cal was a very kind man and all that. Yeah. And I'd been coached by Coach Magel, a little tough. Cal, very kind. Doug Rader, very tough. and the ones that succeeded were a little tougher than so I was probably a little tougher than I needed to be. I was a wonderful assistant coach. They loved me, but I was probably not as loved as a head coach. So, but I was probably a little tougher.
I call him Coach Ashby for a reason. He did recruit me, and he was my coach my freshman year. I don't know how many Coach Ashbys you have calling you Coach Ash, but that's me.
I look at coaches.
You're always Coach Magel will always be Coach Magel, Coach Hayes, Coach Ashby. That's how that works.
I can't call Coach Magel or
Hey Bob. I can't do that.
It's Coach Magel.
Well, it sounds like you had a high school teacher that liked you.
That one.
Dalrymple.
Is that right? Dalrymple?
It just came to me. I couldn't think of it earlier.
What did you mean?
It's Miss Dalrymple.
What did you mean to write?
Logarithm? Yeah, the logarithm.
Well,
I can do it in 20 seconds. I turn in my paper, and I have no idea what a logarithm is, and I just jotted something down and take it up there and lay it down. I go sit back down, and I'm going to take it like a man and what my F or D minus or whatever. She brings the paper back, and she lays it down. She goes, Gary, you didn't mean to put that, did you? I said, no, Ms. Dalrymple, I didn't mean to put that. Well, what did you mean to put? Oh, I don't know what I meant to put, Ms. Dalrymple. She picks the paper up and writes this logarithm crap on it, whatever logarithm is. And she lays it back down and she said, did you mean to put that? I said, yes, Ms. Dalrymple, that's what I meant to put.
And he got his grade.
You should try that.
I remember that teaching technique.
I could not remember her name earlier, and I didn't think I'd ever forget it.
Your head.
And then it just popped into my head.
A logarithm is an exponent.
That's what I put down.
That's what I meant.
Didn't you know that?
Well, now I need to know what an exponent is.
Well, this is a good time to bring up this text. Ask our guests if they sit around and discuss mathematics, both their master and doctorate level.
Oh, wow.
Was this your first math conversation in a while?
Very rarely.
I asked him to cover my Calculus 2 class one time when I had COVID. And he wouldn't do it because he was intimidated by the students.
No, I was not intimidated. But here's the deal. If you go look up Rate My Professor and look up Patty Schovanec, you got to just do it.
Yeah.
I was not that kind of teacher. They would say, your wife is a great teacher. You're not.
See, I said intimidated.
What did you ever do with Ms. Dalrymple thing? Like you taught Patrick, didn't you? Mahomes?
Patrick didn't need any Miss Dalrymple help.
No, she taught Patrick. He was a good student.
Is that right? That's
Patrick
good.
was an excellent student.
That's
and
good.
she still has his last final
But
exam.
I did some version of that.
That's a good move.
He was taking his final exam, and every now and then he'd walk up and ask if he's going about this the right way.
But didn't you say he was like the last person?
He needed a certain grade to keep his A, and so he would take his time, and he'd come up and kind of tip the paper, and I'd say, "You keep going."
Yeah.
And,
all right.
And he was a good student.
And I still have that final. It's in my filing cabinet. So I have his autograph when he was 18.
That might be worth something one of these days.
There's that little FERPA law that I can't sell it.
Well, you've already broken that law, so what the heck?
Well, that'll be the neat part about that is that could be something that on the back end of this thing that you could give him, or that would be a lot of fun.
He was there and at the World Series again. Mm-hmm. And you think about that he still does that.
Well, we're rooting on his knee repair, and it sounds like he's going to be good to go for training camp.
He's practicing.
That was in the
he's sort of hobbling, he's not getting around like you want him to get around.
We're all rooting on him and his knee, and Will Hammond's knee, and JT Toppin's knee.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
He looks big.
Yeah, look good. We've got music playing here.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah, 30 seconds. Say something profound.
I don't want to say something and then disappoint people. Patty, anything profound?
Well, you could say how much you enjoy being on the show.
Oh, we do.
How much we enjoy having you.
Our day is made.
Great time to be at Texas Tech.
We do. Yeah. We do. And you know what? You guys are in our house all the time. We left the house with you on the radio.
But she didn't hear the Ms. Dalrymple story, though.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.